Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to Kase of the Mondays. I had the super funny Mr. Robby Slowik on. He's promoting his new album, which is coming out, or is out actually already, I should say. And he's going to be doing a tour in Southeast Asia. We talk about a lot of different things, including, him working at a job with just trying to get through it day to day. We talk about my time working at City Mortgage with a woman that had not 5 fingers, is the best way to put that. And this was a super fun episode. We also talk about better ways I could be doing this podcast. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good time. Bye.
Kase of the Mondays. Kase of the Mondays. Kase of the Kase of the Kase of the Mondays. Kase of the Mondays. Kase of the Mondays. His name's Kase and it's Monday, so you're about to listen to Kase of the Mondays.
We can pretend anything we want. I mean, we're recording already.
All right.
Robbie, welcome, buddy. Happy you're here. Yeah.
Good to be here.
I know. This took so long. Remember?
Yeah.
People that don't know this podcast started with all of Robbie's equipment and none of mine.
Yeah. But that whole time where Kase was using my microphones, my recorder, my memory card. You still have my memory card.
I still have your memory card.
You owe me
I
a memory
forgot
card.
about that. That's so funny.
I was never asked to do it. I wasn't asked to do it the whole time you were using my
entire
equipment.
time. This man's responsible for 100% of every podcast that you've listened to. And the second his equipment wasn't being used, I was like, "Hey man, I'd love to have you on the pod."
Yeah, you waited. And now this is all, it's also the exact same equipment.
It's
you just went and bought
same.
exactly my setup.
Yeah. Which is the best setup. It was the best thing you could do. So, the whole time, Robbie's like, "Yeah, I love to do, do it sometime." I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to have you do a podcast."
No, that's a revision of history. I
Oh,
never once said I'd love to do it sometime.
Well, I said
I never asked. I was assuming. I was like, oh, he has my equipment. He will surely ask me if I would like to do it.
Well, regardless, I didn't want to have you on.
And
I did not want to have you on because I was like, this guy's gonna come over, do the show, and then be like, "So, man, while I'm here, you mind if I just
Can I
grab
get my
all this
stuff back?
shit? Yeah, can I have all this stuff back?" And then they go, "That's the end of Kase of the Mondays."
I would like to get my memory card back.
Yeah. We'll hook you up eventually.
Am I looking at you, or am I playing to the camera? What are we doing here?
No, you can look to me, and then we
Okay,
go back.
and then we
kind of
go back to the camera?
We're doing a
Okay.
little bit more to the camera now.
I see that.
normal.
It's moving all over the place.
Yeah,
I like it.
We're doing a
Yeah,
little
there
bit.
it is.
I'm sure people will enjoy that. What just happened there?
Yeah, they like
Sorry
that
about
movement.
guys. Robbie, welcome, man. Happy you're here. We spent so much time together the last 2 days.
It kind of lasts like 4.5 years, I would say. It's
Well-
going to be. I have nothing to say to you on mic. I'm out.
We spent all our waking hours together, man. How's life?
Life is
going
good.
on?
Life is good. It's a beautiful day out.
It is a
Ordinarily,
beautiful
this
day.
is a classic Kase and Robby walk around Central Park for 3 hours.
Yeah,
day.
this is exactly what this day is. Me and Robbie are friends, and we've walked around Central Park before.
They caught that. They caught that, right? They didn't need that recap there.
I don't know if people can understand.
I said, this is a typical Kase and Robby walk around Central Park day, and you said, well, Robby and I are friends, and sometimes we walk around Central Park together. Who are your listeners? How slow are your listeners?
I'm a little under the weather.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, this is a good time. Oh man. Yeah, bud. We went out yesterday. We went to a diner. That was fun.
Yeah. Are you? How much sleep are you running on?
Like 6.5 hours.
Oh, so you're doing good. Okay.
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah,
All right.
I feel good actually.
Good.
Yeah, I just just recorded a couple.
Oh yeah, because
before,
you're very
so
chilled out.
I'm pretty
You're
chilled out.
very-
I'm all the way up now, baby.
Yeah, there you
Try
go.
and knock it up. You didn't always used to live here, Robbie, did you?
In New York City?
Yeah.
No. I've lived a lot of places.
And
many places.
when you first moved here, you lived in Hell's Kitchen, right?
Hell's Kitchen, 43rd and 10th. Love that
43rd
neighborhood.
and
Miss
10th.
it.
That's a great neighborhood.
It is a good neighborhood.
For people that don't know though, that neighborhood can get not only is it a great neighborhood, but it can be interesting, like not dicey, but it's colorful.
It's colorful. It's a very gay neighborhood, right?
It's
because
gay.
Gay people, like Chelsea was the gay neighborhood,
Yeah.
right? But then Chelsea got so expensive that like the younger, fun gays, needed somewhere more affordable, became Hell's Kitchen. So it's kind of like, whereas like Chelsea is like rich, old school gays where the daddies live, so to speak.
Oh yeah, the daddies.
Yeah, where the sugar babies live in Hell's Kitchen though.
Yeah, that's where they were getting.
They go south to pick up a daddy in Chelsea.
Daddy, pay me rent.
Exactly.
I got checked out one time in Hell's Kitchen by the hottest gay guy, and it was one of the best days of my life.
It's a pretty nice feeling. It's pretty validating.
It was hotter. He was better looking than any woman that's ever looked at me.
Well, gay guys are so much hotter than us, because they put so much care into the way they look.
Say cum.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I wasn't gonna say they put so much cum into the way they look, but maybe they do. But they put so much care. They're working out. They're in shape. They're dressed
and
well.
they're dressed well.
Yeah, they're just better.
You know the guy from the show Girls? Andrew something, the handsome gay guy.
Andrew Reynolds.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy that checked me out was like a good-looking version. Andrew Reynolds is like if this guy's face melted.
Okay, I would say Andrew
Yeah.
Reynolds is already a good-looking guy.
Right. So I'm saying
you're
this guy was way better.
beyond that.
Yeah.
Did you think about it? Were you like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And I was like,
right?
it was so disappointing. I was like, wow.
well, and then,
I was actually, it's so funny. So when that happened, I came back. I came. And
Oh wow, very good-looking man, obviously.
All it takes is ego, man. All it takes is ego. Make me feel good. No, after that happened, I remember being like, this guy was the best-looking guy. Yeah, of course you think about it. If you have just an attractive human being look at you,
Sure.
you for a split second go, well, this would be a whole new world.
Yeah, it would open up, a whole new door. And I can't, I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I've never thought about could I put my mouth on a man's penis, But ultimately, I don't think so. But I've certainly looked at some men, seen some penises, and thought maybe you catch me on a good day.
You catch me on a good day. We'll
catch
see
me
what
in the right
happens.
mood.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Sure, I put gross stuff in my mouth before.
You know, it's funny. So do you think? Do you think any of this is just you're in a relationship? I think any of this is due to that.
Oh, because you're with one person for so
long that you go,
you're
I could be gay.
You know what? I could suck on a dick
But when
right now.
when you're a single guy and you're out there and it's
100%.
not happening, you're like, gay.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? You know how hard I'm trying
It's so-
for the other thing?
It's just all the other stuff that comes with it. It's so weird that there's
Yeah.
all these stereotypes and this and that, personality differentiators. I would
Yeah.
just why can't you just suck a dick and have that be the activity
Be
for
the
the
whole
day and
day.
then move on?
Having somebody, I remember I had a roommate and a friend. Shout out Mr. Sam Rubinoff. Also, same thing happened
Sammy
to him.
Rubes.
Gay guy used to schedule
Uh-huh.
blowjobs
Oh, yeah. You have
It's
that
amazing.
option. Yeah.
to just schedule a sexual act.
Yes.
And then it's not even like you're going to do other stuff. Like these men would come over,
Uh-huh.
give this person a blowjob, and then he would go.
What does this
Work
have to do
out.
with Sam Rubinoff exactly?
It happened to him. It was his room.
His roommate. You weren't that clear on
Sam
that.
was giving me blowjobs.
Yeah, well, that's the impression you gave. You're just like, this gay guy's used to schedule blowjobs. Shout out Sam Rubinoff. That's essentially what you said.
I was gonna get around to it. Like I said, I'm a little under the weather.
Yeah.
I might just make it seem like everyone's gay through this pod.
We all are a little
Yeah.
bit, for sure.
But yeah, his roommate, my roommate also did the same thing, and he had a boyfriend too, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's more. Is there more open relationships in that? I don't know. We're not the guys to figure this out, but you'd think there would be. You know what I don't understand is gay platonic friendships. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, how does that work?
Because I'm just like, why? Like, you guys are just gonna sit here and watch TV, suck
And
each
not-
other's dicks,
Right,
Live,
why wouldn't
live
you?
a little bit? Yeah, have fun.
For fun.
For a good
have a
time.
good time.
Yeah.
One time I was with my buddy, John
Okay.
Pinto.
I like where this is going.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
start.
And we had the most fun night, man.
And then.
We played Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ooh, good game. Got a lot of
was-
rings.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
A lot of rings. It was a good
Yeah.
euphemism for what was going to happen next.
Right. Yeah, which one of you
No,
was
no.
Sonic? Which one was Tails?
Which one of us is the ring?
Yeah. Ooh.
No, we had a great night. It was like a winter night. We were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember being like, man, we played Mortal Kombat. We laughed. We got high.
Yeah.
Watched TV.
Uh huh.
Watched superhero stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then right at the end, I go,
Yep.
wow, if I could just fuck this guy,
Uh-huh.
this would be perfect.
This would be a great day. Yeah.
But I was like, that's the only thing missing. And then I was like, I don't want to fuck John.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
have
the
any-
problem ultimately when you don't have the sexual attraction. But wouldn't it be nice to have it?
I know.
Oh, we would drop these microphones right now, right
Oh,
on this
yeah.
desk.
I drop one mic right into your ass. You drop a mic into mine. It'll be great. Yeah, you wouldn't have to deal with maybe that's what happened eventually. Kids will just get so sexual, the laws.
Yeah,
or,
I think
the
that's where we're
rules.
going to a much more fluid.
Yeah, my
thing.
buddy Mike. It's been a rough night. You mind give me a blowjob? And the guy goes, "Sure, man."
Why not? But I'm
feels
friend,
great.
I'm here for you. Yeah, I get it.
That's gotta be. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
though.
where we're headed. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it could be. It's the future.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I'm not here to fight it. Yeah.
We sound like two horny old great grandfathers.
That's what we are.
They're just like, I can't wait till these young guys say it's cool for us to blow each
Yeah,
other.
it's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna
Can't wait till
be-
these teen boys are blowing each other.
Wow. Yeah. What
Yeah.
a future that we're gonna have.
Mhm.
I can't wait. What a life. Yeah, I think about that, man. I was I was talking to our friend Rel about this yesterday. Shout out Rel Battle. We were hanging out with him yesterday. He's gonna be on the pod. It's just all the rules to being a guy are so stupid, and no one's ever everyone's always like, oh, you're not being a man. You're like, oh, what are you gonna cry, you pussy? It's never like something smart where it's like, come on, be a man, start a business, do something big, do something smart.
No, it's anytime you do anything that is like the slightest bit like artistic or interesting. It's like, what are you doing? You're not being a man. You're gonna try to be. You're gonna go be in a musical. You're gonna be an actor. Be a man.
Yeah. Sit there and look at rocks and go, I am rocks.
Yeah, drink scotch and stare at a fire.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh,
it's not productive.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just
you see a couple guys that are like that, and you go, cool, that guy's really manly. But it's not like
some of those guys need to be out there. You need some manly dudes like that. But I think we've mostly grown out of that. Like you get old, definitely when you're like a teenager, for sure, you're like dripping with that stuff.
Oh yeah, you're like, I don't want anyone to think. For some, I was saying this. For some reason, you're not supposed to like admit any type of pain that you're having. For some reason, if you're hanging out and like a building falls on your foot, and someone's like, "Are you okay?" You're supposed to be like, "Why?"
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm not gay. You're gay. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah.
There's no crying in baseball.
Right.
What the hell's going on?
That's the old toxic masculinity they call it.
Is it toxic masculinity?
That's what
is that
they call
it's called?
it. That's
okay.
the concept of it, right? Of like,
I'm just learning right now.
You do stuff that is counterintuitive for your own like benefit and development,
right? Because you're a
man. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to be like. I mean, again, that's like a dumb thing. Like you don't have to, be a pussy. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that either. You don't have to sit there and like, I'm gonna cry.
Yes, I'm only gonna talk about my feelings.
And just go, hey,
It's just being honest with yourself and with other people. Like, you know what? I want the blue drink with an umbrella in it.
Sure.
And you guys can make fun of me for that, but I don't care. This is what I like. And it's what I'm going to drink.
Hey, if you have a blue drink, and you got an umbrella, you know, next thing you know, you're talking.
Yeah.
How's any work going to get done? You know what I mean?
It's true.
That's what it is.
It's true. Yeah. We got
Year
do
one
business.
comic.
I'm here for business.
This is a premise
only.
I had. Yeah. About, I go, everyone's going to go to work, but no one's going to get anything done because somebody had a bad day.
Oh,
yeah. It's just gonna be like, oh, we got some welding to do, Mike. Like, I'm not emotionally there today, Ted.
I'm just not. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I don't feel seen right now.
Yeah. I need you to express and acknowledge me.
Yes.
But that type of stuff is just jokes. Like, in reality, no one's gonna. Well, maybe they will. I don't know. My friend just told me that like at the corporation that his friend's girlfriend works at. Mm-hmm. First off, and I'm not being a complaining person. I'm just saying this is what is happening. You're not allowed. People aren't allowed to refer to millennials that work at this corporation as millennials. Fair.
Okay.
And then if there is any criticism, you are told to approach with 3 compliments before you're allowed to give any criticism.
Oh.
But this is like,
is this real?
In a
Are you
corporate
sure this
environment.
is real and not just like elevated for the story? Like
No,
at
this
their
is my
real
friend-
job, they're like, you have to. First of all,
as a boss.
Yeah.
And if someone's acting out,
you have to give them 3 compliments first.
before you go, hey. I mean, this is like a corporate environment. I mean, I think we're like reasonable, sensible people. These are people that are like, hey, this is good, this is good, this is good. Can you please kind of try and work on this? It's not like someone coming to work and being like, hey, this is good, this is good, this is good. Can you not spread your ass cheeks apart and sing the Spangled Banner in front of everybody? It's not like showing up 30 minutes late.
It doesn't even sound true to me. I can't, like, I don't know. I've worked in corporate environments. I have a hard time believing that. Like, you have to give three compliments is crazy. I would act out just to get 3 compliments. I never get 3 compliments in a day. That would be a wonderful experience.
That's never happened.
And right as they hit that 3rd one, I'm like, I actually have a call I got to take.
Yeah. I'm done, man. I'll talk to you later.
But this was great. Thank you.
Thanks
I needed
so much for
this.
that. Oh, that'd be so fun to just end it every single time.
Power move.
Robbie, you're a great worker. You get here on time, and you're a fantastic dresser.
Hey, I appreciate that. Look, I got a call coming up right now, so let's put a pin in this, and we'll come back to it.
We'll talk later.
Bye.
Robbie, I think you're fun to talk to. You listen very well,
Thank
and
you.
you bring fantastic lunches every day.
Oh, I really appreciate that. Look, I got a meeting in room 135, so I'm going to run to that, but let's rain check this. We'll get right back to it.
Robbie, I can tell you have a great penis. Your girlfriend's cool, and you got a great haircut.
All of that's true, and I quit. Thanks a lot. It's been fun.
I got to go, man. That would be a great job.
That
Just
would
keep
be a great
stopping
job.
Your boss every time he
I would love
compliments you.
that. It's
That'd
like
be
the
so much
opposite
fun.
of like in like WWE when they like you get like they count out the punches, you can count out the compliments. It's kind of nice.
1, 2, 3. I gotta go.
And I'm out.
I'm out of here. I can't be here for anything else. Yeah, I don't know if it's elevated for the story. That's what I've heard. I've heard similar stories though. Like, I mean,
Also, you can't call millennials. Like, millennial is this weird catch-all term now. Where it's like, I'm technically a millennial. I'm a 35-year-old man.
Yeah.
It's just like millennials just become this like synonym with anyone who's like whiny or complains. It's like, oh, these millennials.
Or like anyone that just like paying attention and going along with what the mass consciousness of people seem to be doing.
Yeah,
so
it's just this catch-all term to complain about.
You go, I have like a progressive thought, and you go, these millennials.
Right.
And it's like, well, what are you? Just like a psychomaniac that's like, I want to live in a prison.
Yeah.
Where you make your own rules.
Yeah, I'm a Gen Xer. In my days, we drank Pepsi and did a half pipe or whatever. I don't really remember what Gen X was all about.
I think you got it, hit the nail on the head. I think that was the nicest, most nail on the head anyone's ever actually done for Gen X.
But now there's a
Pepsi and a half pipe.
Yeah.
And being sad.
Oh, yeah.
That was their big thing.
Yeah.
I got into it. That was ahead of me, but I was
generation.
Like, so those people, Gen Xers, they're ahead of us, and we're probably on the cusp of the cutoff for millennials.
We're the tip top of millennials.
So, I mean, we're looking at 45-year-olds now. What are they doing? They're just living life.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like everyone is just on like, it doesn't matter how old you are anymore. You're just on Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram and pretending.
Constantly,
like,
Constantly, and you're just like, this is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for some reason, anytime you do something, people are like, these millennials, and you're like, well, what? I can't, that whole being a man thing. I just like, why do I have to do that? I don't have to do this. I don't have to do any of this. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
I can let this gay guy, look at me and feel good about it.
You can look right back at him.
Exactly.
You make a little eye contact. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I know. I think I'm picking up what
there
you're
we
putting
go,
down. I
baby.
think it's happening right now.
Turn that camera off.
Yeah,
Cut
turn
that
the camera
camera off. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Me and Robby just had gratuitous gay sex with each other, and it's been fantastic. Thanks so much for listening. Not to the sex. We cut that part out. It was a good time. Robby, in the course of your life, have you ever had a job that you've fucked up at?
Yeah, every job I've ever had, I fucked up at. I've never been a great employee anywhere. I've had a lot of jobs as well.
I think that's true with a lot of good comics.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, because you're not focused on your job. You're just thinking about comedy and trying to write jokes and do that stuff. But also, I really struggle to do anything I don't care about. I was a bad student, barely graduated high school, like all that stuff. So if I'm not interested in doing the work, I'm not going to do the work.
You think there's somebody that's like really good at their job and they're like, I want to try comedy, and they're like, it's not for you, man.
Well, I just
You're
think
really
someone who's
job.
really good at their job is probably not having the like, I want to try comedy.
I want to try
thing.
something else.
It's like you ever see someone who, man or woman, who starts comedy and they've been married for 5 years and they start comedy and it's like, oh, you're getting a divorce within a year.
Right. Yeah.
It always happens. It's always the way it is. It's not just they're not putting up with it. It's you started this because there was something missing in your life.
Yeah.
Something made you feel empty. The marriage, that whole thing wasn't doing it. You're like, I need something else.
Something else.
And those people often quit comedy or whatever, but they definitely get a divorce.
Yeah. It's more the comedy was the divorce than it was comedy.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So if you're like really excelling at your job and you're good at it, you're rarely like, oh, I should also do stand-up comedy.
That's got to be weird too if you're watching somebody on stage talking about you and you're just like married to them and you're like, yeah, I don't know. Michelle just keeps talking about these stories about how she's married to this dumb idiot.
Right.
I don't.
Well, my girlfriend Kase Ballstrom.
Yeah.
Has she been on this show?
Oh yeah. Great story.
She's a comic, so we talk about each other and we see each other talk about each other, and like she's got a long bit about how she's like frustrated that she's not engaged or married, and I
love watching that bit with you.
Watch that show
as I'm standing next to you.
I'm like, that does sound frustrating.
You're like, yeah, that is rough.
This guy sounds like a real dick.
Yeah. Why is he doing that?
Yeah. So I've experienced
You've experienced that.
Yes.
Yeah. You were just like watching that happen to you.
But we didn't get frustrated in our relationship and then start comedy. We started comedy, then got frustrated in our relationship.
Right, which is
the natural way, the healthy way to do it.
Yeah, there's no one. If you're not frustrated in a relationship, you're just.
What are you doing? What are you even doing?
Yeah, I don't think you're actually dating that person.
That's true.
You're about to start comedy.
Yeah, and it's time. Yeah.
What's the worst you probably fucked up if you had one time at a job? You had to pick.
There's been probably a few. And most of it is just like, the thing is that there's not like a bunch of great like story, like your IKEA lamp story, which I'm sure has been told on this podcast.
I've been told on the podcast. The IKEA lamp story. You're welcome.
That's an amazing one. But But I like most of mine are just like general, just not doing anything. I'm big on what I do is right when I feel like I'm going to get fired, I bring in donuts for the office, and that buys you like 2 weeks.
That's
right
such a
there.
great
Oh, it's power
move.
move. Fridays,
Wow.
bringing in donuts.
We
Everyone's
can't get
so
rid of
excited.
this guy now.
Yeah, we got it. We can't fire him the day he
That's
brought
so
in
funny.
donuts. We'll do it in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
And,
I wanna
guess
give
what's
it
happening in a
2
couple weeks?
weeks.
Donuts, baby.
again. I want to keep this job as long as there are donuts, man.
Yeah, and I'll use dough donuts, not just
like the good
Dunkin'
donuts,
like
yeah.
good donuts. Shout out Dough Donuts if we're taking sponsorships.
Yeah, we'll take
on
sponsorship.
This.
Dough Donuts. What's
Dough
up,
Donuts.
Dough?
Send us salted chocolate caramel and kind of whatever else you guys
I'll
have.
take anything. Dough's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, you making any money off this? You're not making any money off this. You're losing money on
I'm
this.
losing hundreds of dollars. Off
Yeah.
of this every
Let's
single
get
time.
some Dough Donuts in here.
Can I get
Turn
some
things
Dough
around.
Donuts? Yeah, well, at least I can live off
This is
donuts.
marketing, baby. I'm helping you.
I've never.
And speaking of help, Betterment. Call Betterment for. I don't know what they do actually. It's it's like a psychiatrist, a therapist over the phone.
Oh wow!
$35 an hour or something like that. Probably not top-notch therapists
This
if
is
they're
not
working
funny.
for Betterment.
This is not funny, but it makes me laugh imagining the worst. You go, what's the worst you ever fucked up your job? And it's a psychologist that's over the phone.
Over the phone
Like,
psychologist.
oh,
Yeah.
that guy killed himself.
Oh
man.
yeah, many people have killed
I
themselves.
heard a gunshot.
They were paying $35 an hour for over the phone psychiatry.
Maybe
so
you should.
What are you gonna do?
Maybe you shouldn't be on this
lesson
earth.
learned. I'm trying to think of some specific times when
You
I
ever,
fucked up at work.
Messed
but
up, shitty boss, weird boss.
I've been lucky to have like pretty great boss. Here's how bad I was at my job and how good my bosses have been. All right. I was a recruiter at a company called Kase. It's an awful company. If you're working with them or for them, like don't,
Yeah.
But I had one amazing boss there, this man by the name of Michael Hughes. And
Ooh.
this was a commissioned job, right? You're a
Right.
recruiter. You place people in jobs. When they're working, you get commission for their working. I was very bad at this job. I wasn't placing a lot of people. I wasn't making a lot of commission, And the guy, like the president of the market, who was later, he's not there anymore because it's a shitty company, but he used to pull me aside out into the hallway. He'd be like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" And then like break me away from my desk, like out in the hallway, and he'd just be like, he knew how low my commission was. I was living in LA. I was a comic. He'd be like, "You look a little skinny," and then he'd pull out a wad of cash.
Oh my god!
And he would just tear off $100 bill and be like, "Go buy yourself a steak dinner."
Wow.
Because he was the nicest guy.
Oh, that's
he
so
was
sweet.
like,
Oh, it wasn't a douche thing.
no.
Okay.
No. He was like the sweetest guy, and he was like, look, he saw that I was doing the comedy thing and doing just enough to not get fired at this job,
Right.
which is it's enough to not get fired, but it's not enough to make a living in an expensive city.
Right.
And he would literally be like, "Here's a little cash for you."
That's
He was just a
amazing.
sweetheart of a man. Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, following your dreams." I've
Yeah.
had that happen too, where I work at jobs. People find out you do comedy, and then they're just like, "Cool." They're like, "All right, man."
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, actually, people are surprisingly supportive of like, oh, you have something you're passionate about and you're going for it. Like,
Right, that
as
you're not-
long as you don't become a drain on me at work.
Right. Right. As long
I'm
as you
happy
do
to
the
let
job
you
you're supposed to do.
get
yeah.
away with a lot.
Yeah. I came in, not when I was gonna get fired, but my go-to move at any place that I've been at, I come in and I go, did everyone have coffee already? Anybody need coffee?
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
go on a coffee run. You guys want coffee?
Yeah.
I'm like, my favorite thing. All the ladies at the office, they're like, both our moms' ages basically, and I'm like, how about Pinkberry? I know you want Pinkberry. You want Pinkberry? I go,
yeah.
Tanya, you want Pinkberry?
Pinkberry.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like they can't say no.
Yeah, and you can be gone for a solid 45 minutes,
Hour 45.
Easy. Yeah, it's a real win.
I've left for an hour and 45 minutes getting coffee and Pinkberry.
Yeah. Oh, what
and
a
just
power
nobody
move.
says anything.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
so
you're,
happy.
You're bringing them coffee and Pinkberry.
I go, every single time I say the same thing, I go, I almost got back. The guy freaking didn't put ice. Had
to go back.
Had to go back and get
Had to
the
go
ice.
back, yeah.
Can you believe that happened? Meanwhile, I'm just like at a Starbucks, like
Totally.
I'm watching
2 hours
Netflix.
gone.
Yeah.
That's
So
the other thing
great.
about any like corporate job at a big office is over the course of a 40-hour work week, there's probably 4.5 hours of work to be done.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how much people don't work?
Most of it is just kind of sitting around.
I'm surprised that you used to hear about people coming in and shooting up a workplace.
Uh-huh.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more now that they got rid of cubicles. Because now they have like that open plan with
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of places, and I go, that sounds horrific.
So
Looking
you
at
saw
someone's faces.
the new open plan, and you thought this is an easier way for a mass shooting to happen.
This is a
you no
more-
longer have to go cube to cube.
and this is more incentive. I have
Sure.
to look at all these people's faces
Yeah,
now
yeah.
that I hate.
I've worked in both types of environments, low cubes, high cubes. I'm a low cube guy.
Really?
Yeah, I like to be social. I like to chat. Hey, how's
like
it
a
going
low
over
cube.
there? I don't. You got the high cube.
But
You're
I
in a
don't
little
like
prison.
the open. I don't like the open floor.
Love it open.
So we're talking about just a desk, and there's not even this.
There
There's
is
just
this, but
just
like
this.
it probably comes to like chest level.
I'll
Your
take
heads
that.
are
That's
above.
all I need.
You know.
That's all I need. There's a separation.
Yeah.
I'm talking. Okay, so what I'm talking about is one super long desk.
Yes.
That's wide enough where people sit on both sides, and there's a zero separation between you and the other people.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's essentially the same thing. I mean, if the divider only comes this high versus that high, we're talking about the same thing.
I need
really.
that couple inches.
You just
Robby.
need those
Yeah, I
inches?
need something.
I gotcha.
I can't. There's a woman I know that dated somebody that was sitting across from them.
Yeah.
At work for 3 years. They looked at each other 40 hours a week.
You gotta
Looked at
move.
each other.
You gotta move. I'm
and then
stressed
they
out
dated.
from this. Has
I
stressed
know,
me
it's
out.
crazy.
You gotta move seats.
Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Why didn't you
That's
move?"
a
They're like,
nightmare.
"Well, we worked together before."
Casey and I, you know,
dated.
because we're both comics, we're not working day jobs, and she, like, it's too much time together. You know, like.
Right, you need to like just separate.
Yeah. When she sees me in the morning, when she wakes up and sees me, she's just like, "Ugh, you're still here."
here.
Yeah.
I've said this before, but that's how I went on vacation with a woman for 7 days.
Uh-huh.
And
How long had you been together at this point?
it was 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
We went on vacation for 7 days, and let me tell you, it was a fun 3 days. And the rest of the time, she's looking at me like,
Yeah.
"Why?
You know,
you're still here?"
What's
That was it.
interesting is Casey and I do great on vacation when we're
Oh,
like
yeah?
out of our normal routine
Well,
in a
this
different
relationship
place.
ended for the reason that it ended.
Yeah,
it makes
yeah,
sense.
sure.
But yeah,
Casey
you
and I
guys do
genuinely,
well.
like,
I
love
think
each
a
other
lot of
and all
couples
that
can
stuff.
enjoy.
It's nice. It's a
relationship.
change of pace, a change of
Yeah.
scenery. Sex is better.
Yeah.
Conversations are better. You're just because you're out of your routine. It's not what did you
Right.
do today. You give me your checklist of stuff. Here's my
Right.
checklist. Anything happen? It's like you're experiencing stuff together. It's just a different, and you're out of your.
There
comfort
really
zone.
is something to like, there's a different scenario, like that whole like trying thing going on dates and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you got to do that stuff, and I get it now that I've matured. But you go, "What do you mean we got to go out? We're here.
We're here.
Just
We're
put
home."
TV on. We're
Yeah,
good." And they're
yeah.
like, "What are you doing? This is hell for
No,
me."
you got to do stuff.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just. But yeah, there's something to like you see the person too much, and you're like, "This is not natural."
Everybody needs a little time away.
Great.
Thanks. That was
That's pretty
falsetto.
good. Nice.
Hard to say.
I tried to join
I started
him,
too high.
and
Can't
I-
hit the from each other.
Well,
part.
listen, I couldn't even join you.
Uh-huh.
I'm under
I
the
started very
weather.
high. Satara, though, he's got a smooth, silky, high voice. You know, big Chicago fan. You like Chicago?
I like Chicago.
We all like Chicago.
You know what I like to do?
Uh.
Smoke weed and listen to Chicago.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a good.
You know what I like to do?
combination of
You know what
things.
I like to do?
Yeah.
Smoke weed and do anything.
Yeah,
You pick the thing, I'm into
Let
it.
me tell you, I don't have anything to do after this podcast.
Ooh, a little
Who
Chicago and a
who
joint.
knows what's gonna happen? You know, no one's saying anything. Though, yeah, there's something like where you're hanging out constantly with somebody. I mean, imagine sitting across a desk for years, and then you met at work.
Yeah.
I've heard that story. Like, not.
Yeah. We've been
Twice.
doing this for 25 minutes. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, imagine.
I'm just done with this
And we're gonna
already.
spend
I'm
the
sick of this.
We're gonna spend the next 12 hours together.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Yeah, wow, that was really good. It has been exactly about 27.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this.
Every single person that's listening is like, wow, he said the time. I'm out. This is, I didn't know that. So yeah, that's fucking cool. Like, I gave you $100 bill.
Yeah, and he would do that like once every like couple of months. He was just a really,
That's really nice.
yeah.
My boss used to tell me.
Knowing full well that I was their worst employee on that floor, you know, or I wasn't like. But here's the other thing about being a bad employee. This is important actually for any like aspiring bad employees out there who don't want to get fired but need that income. Just be nice, be a good person. Don't be toxic. Like there's being a bad employee, which is like being toxic and being a drain on people, and then there's like just doing the minimum, handling your own stuff, and then just being nice, being pleasant to be around. That will carry you through a job forever, basically.
No one cares. It's like if you didn't make any bumps.
Yes.
And you go, hey, did anybody want a coffee?
Yeah.
I brought some donuts. Everyone goes, that's the best person at this office.
Sweetheart.
What about Mike? He's the highest performer in the whole sector.
Everyone hates Mike.
Fuck Mike.
Yeah, Mike's the worst.
Mike eats the donut. He eats two of them.
Mike sends out motivational emails with the words leverage in it and stuff like that. Mike's the worst.
I want to fucking kill Mike.
Ugh,
Mike.
Mike Q3. Mike talks about Qs, you know.
And you're sitting there like, they're like, fuck Mike. Robby, though.
How about that guy?
He's bringing
He's only losing the company $17,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a boss. It's so funny. They got your boss gave you $100 bill.
Mm-hmm.
I had a boss, and I was the best employee at this company. And my boss said, when I die and I'm hooked up to tubes and I'm going out of this world, it's going to be your fault.
He said that to you?
Yep. Said it to me. A 16-year-old boy.
For what? What job was this? Tell me about this job.
It was a place called City Mortgage. That was...
You worked at a mortgage place at 16?
Yeah. It was hilarious because the place, when it ended, it ended like the way like the mafia goes, hey, the feds are here. Like people were carrying files out of the office, like into the dumpster. Like that place fucking
This was on Long Island?
Out. Yeah.
I feel like every mortgage business on Long Island ends that way.
It ended.
With the feds coming in raiding it.
Yeah, unsurreptitiously. Like it just kind of like...
So what was your job there as a 16-year-old kid?
I called people to refinance their mortgages.
Oh, this was like 2000?
Salesman, yeah.
When was this?
Oh, this was
16.
No,
It would have been like
1999.
1999.
Yeah, 1990. Yeah,
Yeah,
99.
that's early to play that game, the old refinance game.
Oh,
huh?
yeah,
So you were doing full-on sales for
Yeah,
a
so
mortgage
you
company at 16 years old.
Yeah.
Well, how old were the other people working there?
One person was 42.
Uh-huh.
One woman was named Andrea, and she jokingly would call this kid Brandon and be like, "Do you want me to suck your cock?" And I was 16. I was like, "I'm so hard
my
right
God.
now.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is crazy. I've never heard a woman say this before." And it was amazing. And then I worked with like 4 other of my friends that were 16.
How did you get this job?
I don't remember. It was like through a friend that worked there. Like, do you want to work 4 hours a day and make $10 an hour? I was
Yeah.
like, are you talking about $40 a
Yeah.
day before tax?
Yeah.
I was like,
Sign me
yeah.
up. Yeah.
And the guy goes, we used to get one 15-minute break.
Would you get commission off if you refinanced?
Yeah,
it?
so after a couple, you get commission.
Did you
So
ever sell
I was
any?
the top, baby. I was
Were
number
you?
one. I would
You would be a good salesman.
I was a great salesman.
Yeah.
And I got on the phone with people. It was fun because you realize that like it doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah.
It matters if you make them, how you make them feel.
Right.
So I would just say, like, I'd be like, hey, Mike, how you doing? It's Kase. And they're like, hello.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mike, I'm like, don't give me that. I'm like, you're not happy to talk to Kase? Come on. And he's
Yeah,
like, hey, Kase, how are you? Good to see you. I'm like, Mike, I'd be better if you refinance your mortgage. I mean, I got a credit card here. It says you're paying 14%. I'd do that kind of thing. Or I'd be like, let me ask you a question. You like making money? And they say yes.
Of course they're going to say
You give
yeah.
7 yeses, basically. You like making money.
Sure.
You like saving money.
Yeah.
Do you like being able to afford things?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Do you like having fun?
Yeah, I do like having fun, Kase. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Then let me talk to you about this mortgage. 'Cause it looks
Okay,
like
yeah.
this interest rate ain't fun.
I love having fun. I love talking mortgages.
Yeah. I go, you go to one store, let just make sense. I'm not trying to make dollars. I'm trying to make sense.
Oh, boy.
Not even kidding.
That's where I hang up. I
This is-
100% hang up at that moment.
It's so insane.
But this is Long Island, which
You're
this is
16.
this is how they speak in
I'm
Long Island.
16 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just matching what people are.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make dollars. I'm trying to make sense. Let me talk to me. You go to one store, sneakers $50. Next store is $100. Which store are you going to buy the sneakers
The
in?
$50 sneakers.
Then let's talk.
Oh, baby.
Can I get your social security number? That was always the next question.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the hardest part about the sell.
Of
I had to get their
course.
social so we could run their credit.
That's crazy.
So we
yeah.
couldn't have like a psycho. So I closed so many deals. And the guy who was like the mortgage broker,
Yeah.
the main guy, kind of looked like an older version of me. So it was weird.
Oh, that could have been your life. You could still be there.
I couldn't. Well, I mean, the company definitely closed.
Oh,
and,
how much money did you make? Yeah, I mean, you were part
Not
of
that
some,
much.
Yeah.
No, the bonuses were nothing. The bonuses were like 50 or they were like 25.
Someone was making a lot of money. And
they made,
using
yeah.
16-year-old kids who don't know anything to make you a lot of money is brilliant.
It's so
move.
brilliant, man. Paying. Let's be honest. Paying stoned 16-year-old boys.
Yes.
Because we got high out of our minds every
Yeah.
day before we went to work, and then
Totally.
just had people refinance their mortgages.
Yeah, yeah. And so this guy was probably making $9,000 on every one of those
Yeah.
refinance mortgages,
Yeah.
and gave you $50 or whatever.
Yeah, it was like 20. Actually, if you had all you had to get was the appointment, and after every out of every 5 appointments, one would actually refinance.
Yeah.
But after 5 appointments, you make $25, something like that.
Oh boy, you've taken
It's-
advantage of
Oh yeah.
so heavily.
But at 16 years old, you're like, I get paid $10 an hour, and you're telling me I get 15 minutes for a break?
Yeah.
And I was like, and no one's gonna say anything if I smoke cigarettes. You're not gonna
Right.
tell my mom. Everyone's looking at me like, no, we're not gonna tell your mom.
At the end of an interview, just and do you have any questions for us? Yeah. I've got one important one.
If I smoke
Look,
cigarettes.
I'm a man who likes to rip a cig between selling fraudulent mortgage refinances.
Yeah, it was so a heinous, hilarious job. It was one of the more interesting times of my life. My boss's name was his name was Mr. Kennedy. And he had a big bushy,
Not his real name, by the
Wilford
way.
Brimley mustache. And one day, I don't know if you guys smoke weed, but there's these things called Garcia Vegas. It's basically a cigar tube.
Yeah.
We came to work. I'm stoned out of my mind like normal. I dropped a cigar tube with the bag of weed, empty bag of weed, into the garbage. I look down, like a half hour passed. I go, oh yeah, that's the wastebasket that Mr. Kennedy sits at. That's his desk. Because he switched desks day to day. He looks in, he goes, this is interesting. Opens it up, looks inside, he goes, interesting. Look what we have here.
Yeah.
And I go, well, we're sorry, Mr. Kennedy. And he goes, when I die, it'll be your fault.
Amazing. Meanwhile, he's ripping you off so badly.
Badly.
He's also the type of boss who rummages through the trash to see what his 16-year-old
Guys,
employees have.
I cannot express how much he is the type of person that rummages through the trash.
Yeah.
There's a reason this man was 60, 70 years old in charge of a bunch of 16-year-olds.
And always threatening to call your mom and tell her you smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
Case, I'm running these numbers here. I got some bad news for you.
What are you up to for the weekend? I'll tell you what I'm up to. A bottle of Bacardi in my swimming pool. That's every single Friday he would say that. A bottle of Bacardi, and I'll see you later. And I was like, all right, thanks, Mr. Kennedy.
Amazing.
Let me ask you a question, Case. How you getting to work tomorrow? I don't know. I think Brian's going to give me a ride. Do you think Brian will be able to pick me up? When I say this man drank a bottle of Bacardi on the weekend, there's a reason he was in charge of 16-year-old boys.
Right,
He was just that guy. He was hilarious. And he was an alcoholic. He had gout. He weighed maybe 90 to 110 pounds.
It's a tiny man.
He had very thick, very like spiked up 1970s, like I work for the government type hair.
Yeah.
And a fucking burly mustache, and like he didn't have a pocket protector, but he could have.
Okay.
He looked like that guy from that 70s show if he had a thick hair.
He's dead now, probably. Not that 70s show guy, Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, Mr. Kennedy's probably dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he had gout.
Sure.
They told me I got gout. Like literally,
Not even
would say
doctors,
that.
just they.
Yeah, they tell me I got gout.
Must be true.
I'm still gonna drink my Bacardi. I'll tell you that. The guy
hope he
loves
heals
Bacardi. It's such a funny drink too, rum for an
sure,
old man.
Rum is gross.
And a swimming
Bacardi
pool.
is like also
Yeah.
like just like the grossest like brand as well.
Can I ask you a question, Case? Do you have an extra cigarette? He would ask me for cigarettes.
Case, what do you think about this Captain Morgan guy, huh? I don't trust him. The way he
don't know.
stands on the barrel. What is he hiding? What's he hiding in that barrel, Case?
You did pretty well today, but when I die, it'll be your fault.
It'll be your fault, and not the handle of Bacardi I drink
No,
every night.
he drank.
That'll have nothing to do with it.
He had a lot of issues, that guy. And then the last day I worked there, this woman Donna hired us. She was a sweet lady. We always used to talk about, man, it'd be cool to sleep with Donna. Donna's so
How old is
so
Donna?
nice. Donna's like at the time what feels to be 40.
Okay.
And in reality, 35 probably.
Right.
Yeah.
I also feel 40% of women on Long Island are named Donna, right? That's just statistics.
I think statistically it's slightly higher.
Okay.
Yeah. Just slightly higher. And this woman, the day that we left, which was like we didn't know we were leaving.
Yeah.
Like, we're sorry, guys, we have to go. And to us, I mean, I'm 16. I spent 2 years working there, like just haphazardly.
Yep.
This has been like 20% of my life. You know what I mean? I haven't done that much else.
Sure.
I go to school. I've gotten high a couple of times. I've seen a couple dirty magazines in a park. And now I get high, go to Wendy's, and then I come to this job. And I've had these experiences. So Donna comes over. And I go, all right, Donna, it was really nice. And she goes, yeah, Case, it was. And we shook hands. And I go to my buddy, I go, yo, how long has Donna been missing a finger for? And he goes, dude, Donna's been missing a finger the whole time. I go, are you serious? He goes, dude, you've been high every day you come to work.
Yeah, you never noticed.
You never noticed.
Did you ever get the backstory of how Donna
Nope,
lost a finger?
Never found out. But it was, if anyone's wondering, it was the ring finger. And I didn't find out till the day I left that job that she was missing a finger.
We should call her. We should call Donna. Let's get Donna on the pod.
I swear to God,
and
I
find
wish
out.
I could find her number. It was the first and last.
How much of the
time.
like was the whole finger gone? Are we talking about from the knuckle?
The ring finger from the first knuckle
on her
was
left
just
hand,
gone.
on her ring hand, like on her
her hand. She shook my hand with her right
hand. Okay.
Yeah, Her right hand. It was gone.
Got it. So it wasn't like a marriage gone bad where the guy just straight up bit her wedding ring off?
No, I so consistently got high and went to this job high that I didn't realize until the absolute last day. It was like a nice little like button to the story of it, though. You know,
that is a nice button
because it was like, oh, she's missing a finger, and I was like, I never realized I was high the whole time. It was like my last thought of leaving that building. I was like, wow, I was really high the whole time.
Really
I was
not paying
here.
attention to anything. Yeah,
the whole time I was here. Yeah, that was.
I don't think I'd notice though either. Even if you're a A+ employee, you're not looking at everyone's fingers. You're not a creep.
No,
weirdo checking out Donna's hands all the time.
Yeah, this guy's Serbio. This girl Lana, I had a little crush on, and her brother worked there. His name was Serbia or Serbio or something like that.
Serbia is a country. I'm guessing that's not his name.
I think he was Serbian.
You think his Serbian guy named Serbia?
But his name was like Anton, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anton and Lana, I don't know. I think I saw her one time, and I was like, we went in. She was like, I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
And she kept walking. But Alana. But yeah, this guy was like the second highest performer, and he was 22 years old on the fast track in med school.
In med school?
Yeah, he was like ahead of, when people skip grades, he was like whatever it is, like he was about to become he was about to go to med school.
Okay.
And he was like, he had like a 4.0 average, and he was like, he was basically graduating very early, whatever it was. Maybe he was younger than 22, but he was like a couple years ahead of school. Basically like the polar opposite of me, who was the top performer, which was high, eating Wendy's.
Yes.
Had a horrific GPA.
Yeah.
Failed out of what turned out to be his senior year.
Yeah.
What turned out to be his junior year.
Right.
Yeah.
And now he's a doctor.
He is a doctor now. Yeah.
So maybe he got the last laugh on
kinda
being a top performer at the fraudulent mortgage company. Maybe Serbia is winning this battle long term.
Yeah, long term he's doing pretty okay. Yeah, that was like, I wouldn't say that was like a fucked up thing at a job, but it was just fun, You go into work, you get high.
Yeah, any
Your
like
boss
low
is
responsibility
nice, my boss is fucking nuts.
Job is okay,
I love the weird people you work with sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's like such a great, usually like.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I feel like, especially hanging around comics all the time, and like, there's this myth that comics are they're like, oh, we're so crazy, we're such an outsider. And it's like going to an office and talking to people who work in a corporate office.
Yeah.
They're also fucking nuts.
Yeah.
They also are getting hammered at night and doing drugs because they hate their daytime reality. And like, I think there's this thing like, we're comics, we live outside, and then it's like, no, everyone's a crazy person.
Yeah, we're all pretending that this is a job.
Right.
And everyone's just like, what's the bare minimum I can do to pretend I'm still...
Yes.
Yes, I am the vice president of human resources.
There's like 10% of people who are like bought in and really into it, and be fucking scared of those people. Be scared of people who are like, we need to gain market share across multiple verticals, and who like care about that. You're like, this is what you want to do with your life?
Have you read the company handbook?
Share?
Have you read the guidelines?
Right, yeah.
And you go, what?
The what?
You go, have you gotten laid?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
You fucking brood.
What
are you doing?
Yeah, this is me and you just bullying people at work, huh?
At jobs?
Yeah,
you want to be good at your job?
Have you read the handbook? You ever seen a pussy, you loser?
You never seen any one of these fucking...
I got a handbook. You ever got a hand job? Probably not, you fucking loser.
I ain't worried about no handbooks. I'm worried about hand jobs.
Anyway, you good kid. Get out of here. Get back to work.
Get back to work. Hey, I'm your
bring me the handle of Bacardi as well.
You're my boss. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
I'm having a good time. I remember one time we were at that job, and so I worked with this kid, Raphael, and I'm just going to... The only thing I remember of Raphael is always calling the Asian food spot and being like, "Can you put the eggs in the rice?" Like he would always say it just like that, and he would, like a little boy. Yeah. Like, can you put? It's fried rice. It has eggs in it. You know what I mean? And he would always ask. And he was in the room. That kid, this kid Brandon was in the room. The one that was like the girl Andrea was like, oh, "Can I suck your cock?" Okay. And I was like, I'm still hard, Andrea.
Yeah, I'm still into this.
Andrea was like a girl we went to high school with that like I don't even remember her last name, but I was like. I'm sure like now I'd be like whatever, but like at the time I was like, this is the sexiest woman I've ever seen in my entire life.
When you're 16, the thought of what adult sex must be like is like, it's and a
woman
mind-blowing.
Whispering into a phone was the most erotic thing that I've ever experienced in my entire life. Yeah, it was crazy. And the idea that she was going to blow this man, I was like, I wonder if this is going to happen.
Is this really happening?
Right. I feel like I'm watching the best baseball game of all time. So we're in this room. I'm stoned out of my mind like normal. And we're all high. Me, Andrea got high. Brandon got high. Raphael got high. My boy Brian got high.
Everyone's high.
Dan got high. My three buddies, little fucking cohorts, little idiots got high.
Dr. Serbia?
Dr. Serbia got high.
Yes.
Alana didn't get high. No, Alana smoked a little bit with us.
Okay.
Every employee.
The whole building is high.
Yeah. And this is not something that happened every day, but as a family, we all decided, hey,
Yeah.
Brandon showed up with like a blunt.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right.
All right. He's ready to go.
So we go in, and Mr. Kenny goes, all right, today there's going to be pizza. But before there's pizza, there's going to be a meeting. Everybody into the conference room. We get in the conference room. This guy starts writing, dude. I couldn't tell you if you put a gun to my head what he wrote on this fucking chalkboard. I was so high. It was a magic marker and a dry erase board.
Yeah.
And he was writing stuff like, if we do this many,
Yeah.
and you do this, you make 25.
Right.
So if you make this, should you make this? I fought for you.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I got you after 4. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on. What type of, when is this pizza getting here?
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about is the pizza. I'm so
That's
high.
such a classic corporate move as well, to call the meeting and then be like, there's pizza
After we're done.
just
If you pay attention.
sit through this, just get through this one thing in a room full of grown-ups. Are like, ugh,
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm in a room full of mostly stoned children.
Yeah.
We're all high, and everyone's watching this guy talk. And the only thing that's happening of note that's anyone is interested in is every time he turns around, there's a fly buzzing around the room
Yeah.
that keeps landing on his coffee cup, and he keeps picking it up, and he hasn't taken a sip yet.
Oh, yeah.
And the tension is building.
Yes.
It does not stop. He keeps talking. He takes a sip almost. Doesn't take a sip, puts it down. The fly lands on it again.
Yeah.
We're all watching. We're like, oh. The fly flies away as he picks it up. He doesn't see it. We're like, oh, he's going to take a sip.
do it. He's going to take a sip.
And then he does it. He puts it right by his thing, and he goes, hey, and that's what I'm doing for you guys. I'm now 4, and you got 25. And he puts it back down. We're like, wow. And he picks it back up. Now he's talking with it. He's gesticulating. We're like, what is going to happen?
Yeah.
This guy is going to take a sip of
This
this
is
cup.
riveting.
Yeah, This we're just watching this fly, and he still
Yeah.
isn't. It's amazing. He's not seeing it. One time it like landed on his shoulder.
Sure.
So
This fly is taunting him.
And as he's about to take a sip, I get up, and at the top of my lungs, I yell, "Just don't drink the coffee!" And he goes, "Kase, get out!
Get out of here!"
No context to any of
Yeah.
it, and just kicked me out of the meeting.
You were trying to save him from embarrassing himself.
Yeah.
And this is
then
what you get.
everybody started hysterically laughing
Yeah.
to the point where it was pandemonium. He lost
Yeah.
all control of the
Yeah,
meeting. Nobody knew what was happening.
Nobody's getting pizza.
Yeah.
Put the pizza in my office next to the Bacardi. It's just for me now.
I'm the only one eating pizza tonight. He's fucking so pissed at me.
Mm-hmm.
No one's like the whole meeting. He's trying to have like a nice meeting.
Yeah.
No one pays attention to it. And then the pizza comes, and he goes, "You're walking home today." And I go, "What?" I was like, "Brian's gonna give me a ride." He's like, "Well, you're not working today.
Yeah.
So maybe you should get to walk." And
Maybe
I go,
you should get the walk in.
"I go, I'll just wait until you're done."
Yeah.
Brian will give me a ride. I'm like, I'm not. This is psycho.
Yeah.
I'm not walking home.
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, you might as well work if you're gonna stay."
If you're gonna be,
Yeah. He just gives up immediately.
he just rolled over immediately.
Immediately. He did insult me though. It was very, very. It was good. The only shitty. I think the only kind of shitty moment I had with this guy. I go, "Can I still have some pizza?" And he goes, "Let the animal eat." And I go, "Wow, wow."
Yeah.
I was like, "Have fun dying, old man." I was like, "Fuck this guy."
But you said but he said you're the reason he was gonna die.
I know, but I mean, such the opposite of somebody giving you $100.
Let the animal eat. I like. Yeah. Very different experience.
Very different experiences at this job. You ever have like a situation like that with like dating, like a bad date? I mean, you were in a long-term relationship multiple times.
I've been.
Have you ever been on a date that didn't end up in a long? I go on these and they end up 7 years later. They're here.
No, I've been on a few dates, but I didn't date that much. I didn't like
You're
hookups
Mr.
and stuff, but I didn't like go out on a lot of dates.
You're Mr. Kennedy in this scenario. Lady, starting this date, I didn't know I was going to drink a bottle of Bacardi, but now that you're here, that's all I'm going to do.
A lot of men don't have the foresight to bring a handle of Bacardi into a restaurant with them. But this is how I treat the women in my life, huh? What would you like? Let the animal get whatever she wants to get. Huh?
She calls her the animal. That's so great. Oh, man. No, you never have like a fucked up date? You ever been out with somebody that's like a psycho, or did you always have a good filter? Or?
No, I've had, I've made some mistakes in my life, Kase. Is that what this is about? Is that what this is becoming? Yeah, there's the one girl one time, she, we had gone out a couple times and it just wasn't work. She wasn't for me, so to speak. But she called me once, at like, it must have been like 11:30 p.m. on a weeknight. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Hey, I need you to come get me right now."
Okay.
And I was like, what's going on? Is everything okay? And she was like, no, everything's not okay. This is the address I'm at. I need you to come get me. And we were like not a couple. Like we had been on a couple days. Didn't go that well. So I was like, okay, hold on. I'll be there. You know, because someone's like, it sounds like an emergency. She's like, I need you. And I'm at a show. I'm like, I have a show that night. And I'm like, so I drop the show to be like, I've got to go get this person.
That's crazy.
And then I get to the address she gave me. And it's like, I was living in LA. And it's like a bar on like Hollywood and Vine or whatever. And so I call. I'm like, hey, I'm here. And she's like, okay, I'll be out in just a minute. And I sit in my car for 3 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes. This girl comes walking out, turns to wave behind her, bye, and gets into my car. And I was like, what's up? And she was like, oh, what? And I was like, what? Is everything okay? She's like, oh, yeah, everything's fine. And I was like, well, what? And she's like, yeah, let's just go back to my place. I was like, let's go back to your place?
Insane. Wow.
I was so mad.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
She like made it sound like an emergency. Then she wanted to use me as an Uber and have sex with me. So we get back to her place, and then she's like, well, are you
Did
coming?
You have sex with her?
She was like, are you coming up? And I was like, no, not tonight.
Oh, good for you.
I'm not into it. And she was like, why not? I'm like, I just felt like you made it sound like it was some type of emergency.
Right.
And she's like, and then
you made me like cancel
this
work?
is what she does. She goes, oh, I get it. You're gay.
Oh, wow.
And then
that's so funny.
And then
every
I'm like,
negative, like,
yes,
it's always that.
And I'm
the person that goes, I get it.
Yeah. And I'm like, this isn't going to work on me.
Like,
I'm a grown up and I don't care and I'm not coming inside. And she's like, yeah, no, I get it. I wouldn't come inside if I were gay either. So I get it. I'm like, God damn it.
Wow.
I'm coming inside.
Yeah. I'm going to have sex with you, prove I'm not gay, and then leave. And I know you get what you want, but I kind of really get what I want.
Which is to prove to myself that I'm so insecure that I'm probably gay. You know, like I'm probably, the fact that I'm so concerned with you thinking I'm gay that I'm going to have sex with you.
You do
means,
get to have sex with her, though. Did you have sex already?
Yeah.
Right,
we had hooked up a few times, but she's just a bad person.
Oh, that sounds horrible. Yeah, the bad person thing is rough. I hooked up with a girl one time years ago, and she dropped the N-bomb. And I was like, after we hooked up, like the next morning.
In what context?
Oh, man. She goes, hey, don't mind my keys. They're rigged.
Oh, yeah.
I just did a pregnant pause for everybody. But yeah, I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
In my head, I go, what
fuck just happened?
And let me tell you, guess what she did? You're never going to guess.
I don't want to
guess. The opposite of what you think.
I don't know.
Yoga teacher.
Really?
You would never think.
No, I would kind of
a yoga
think
teacher with
that
like flower tattoos.
Me. Yeah, it just doesn't like surprise me who people like really are. You know?
Yeah, she's all like namaste, like super, like
the other
nice.
N-word.
The other N-word.
Yeah.
Robbie, that was great. Yeah, that's exactly. She goes. Every day she's like, peace be with you, and like doing all these chants, and then she just drops.
But then if you were to like call someone like that on that, they'd be like, relax, I didn't mean it like that. I just mean
right.
Like,
Why are you being such a weirdo? I go,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't like relaxingly
weird.
Throw that. That's a weird thing to just say to somebody.
Yeah. Also, what was wrong with her keys?
I have no idea. I stopped focusing on the keys when she just started dropping racial slurs at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
I just was like,
it's too early. 1 p.m.
This is a lot. I go, can you wait until
have
the
some
sun
class? Wait till the sun goes down to be racist.
Yeah. Can you? Yeah. Jesus. What kind of? What we live in a society?
Person are you? Yeah.
You gotta wait.
Nighttime racism only, please. That's fine. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Also, it wasn't a joke. Like, I'm forgiving of like, I mean, maybe not that, but like.
No, I'll let someone get away
jokes.
with almost anything if it's like a joke and the context is there. But like if that's just like that's just in your lexicon, your vocabulary
of
like,
how you're just describing something.
Yeah, but I guess that's the thing about you and I, Kase. We're heroes, you know. We're the good ones, you know.
You hang out with us, there's not going to be a problem.
No sexual harassment, no racism, only good old-fashioned motivational speech and refinancing of your mortgages. You know?
The way you want.
The way you want, right? Hey, let me ask you a question out there. You like saving money? Huh? You like making money?
Yeah.
Yeah. You like what are the other yeses you get? You like
having fun?
You like having fun? You like having fun? Well, then how about we get you 11%? On that mortgage, you know? Wait, that's really high for a mortgage.
Really high. That's
crazy
so high.
Yeah.
That's so high.
Yeah. How about we get you down to 3.5%?
You know what's my favorite thing someone said to me when I called this job? I could talk about this job forever because people said a million things. Hey, I got a pretty high interest rate. I could probably help you out with that. It's about 12%. And he goes, well, I got another problem. Can you help me out with that? And I go, what's that? He goes, my dick. I go, well, I don't know about that, but I could definitely do something with that 12%.
Uh-huh.
He goes, this dick is 12 as well. And I go, all right, well. And then one time I called a guy. His name was Mr. Bugnitz.
Mr. Bugnitz.
Bugnitz, yeah. So if you switch
Amazing
them,
to remember these names.
because if you switch them around, it's Big Nuts.
Okay.
And I was stoned.
Yeah.
And 16.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're not gonna say Big Nuts. And I
Yeah.
was like, is Mr. Big Nuts there?
Uh-huh. There was a, while I was a tech recruiter for a long time, you deal with a lot of Indian software developers.
Gross.
So there's a lot of, one of the common names is Hardik. There's a lot of
Hardik.
Hardicks. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hardik. So you got to
That'll
call and
make
be
you
like,
laugh.
can I speak to Hardik, please? Yeah. That was a fun one for us.
Is this Hardik?
Yeah. Is this Hardik? How hard? Yeah.
That's great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I had a lot of people with like weird names like that. Big Nuts was one. There was another one with something nuts. It was like Tiny Nuts or something like that.
A lot of nuts names going on.
There's a lot of nuts
Yeah.
names. I didn't know if some of these were like fake. We had call lists. This is before computers.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we used to just call people off the thing.
Just you would give it a sheet of paper?
Yeah, sheet of paper, and you just keep going down the list or whatever.
This
I
is
called the lady. having
Glengarry
sex
Glen
once.
Ross. This is classic.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. It was like a real piece of Americana I got to be a
Uh-huh.
part of. Yeah, it was really fun. I can't believe that girl had you come pick her up.
It was one of the worst. I honestly, I still regret that I let her like bully me into going inside with her. That I was so insecure
Right.
at that time in my life that I was like, I'll show you who's,
Yeah.
that goes back to that
Right.
masculinity thing.
The
of,
masculinity
I
thing,
really
yeah.
just should. There's no way I should have gone in there. I regret it to this day.
There's, what's funny is like, so the opposite of the masculinity thing exists as well, where someone tries to like out liberal somebody else and you're like, no, I'm cool.
Yeah.
That happened to me. I was on a date with a girl. I talked about this on the podcast before, but I sat down, I ordered from the bartender, and I like just offhandedly kind of mentioned, like, I'm jokingly, like not being like full of myself. I was like, I'm so good at getting bartenders' attention.
Mm-hmm.
And she very seriously said, well, that's white privilege.
The girl you're on a date with?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I go, like, it felt like, and honestly, and for some reason, it kind of felt the same way it feels when you tell me the story about the girl coming to come pick me up. It's
Yeah.
like, this, you brought me here under the false pretenses
Yeah.
of this, what I thought was a date.
Yeah.
And now I'm here with a crazy person that's trying to instill a ideology into
Sure.
me the second I sit down. And then I said, I'm actually Middle Eastern. And this woman, like, tried to out liberal herself. She's like, well, I'm so sorry. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, just basically was like.
Yeah, you're fully Persian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Afghani, but yeah.
You're half-half?
I'm not half-half. It's just like my
What are
parents,
you genetically?
I think I'm Persian.
Uh-huh.
I am Persian genetically, but then part of my family, so I guess part of it's Afghani, but like, my parents moved or grew up in Afghanistan, and then I have other relatives that were from earlier on.
But they're Persians who were in Afghanistan.
Right. But I mean, potato. It's like, oh, I'm from this is gonna sound insulting. I was gonna be like, I'm from Venezuela. I moved to Mexico. I mean, it's all Mexican. It's Spanish.
but no,
you speak Spanish. Like they spoke a different type of Farsi.
Yeah.
And to me, maybe I honestly don't know enough about my own culture, but to me, I was like, it just sounds like we're all talking a different version of the same language. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's different, but
Can we cut this out? Can we edit this nothing section of Kase's background out of the podcast? We got so deep in the weeds there.
Yeah, we got really deep.
But anyway, she accused you of white privilege. You said,
Yeah.
I'm actually
Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern.
She goes,
and
where?
then-
She goes, from where? And I go, she goes, I'm so sorry. From where? And I go, if you really want to stick it to somebody, you don't say you're Persian.
Yeah, you say Afghan.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I went, Afghanistan. I even pronounced the stan really well. And she was like, oh, I didn't know. I was like, she's like,
Yeah.
and then she just like,
Do you know what
backtracked
happened to my
100.
family in Kabul?
I was like, my, I have an accent now.
Yeah, all of
I
a
go,
sudden.
my aunts they were not allowed to wear makeup.
I lost all of my cousins in Kandahar.
They were there. They live in Kabul. They were the number one pistachio salesman.
You know who cannot get a bartender's attention?
Let me ask you a question. Do you like to have fun? Do you like to drink?
Do you like to save money?
Do you like to tell people who do they have white privilege?
And then you sell her a rug. And
Yeah, I
that's the
sell
end
her
of
a
the
rug
night.
and I go, let's refinance that rug as soon as you're done. Robbie, man, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
To plug, what do you want to plug? Tell people about yourself.
I would like my memory card back, please. Please give me back my memory card.
That's not a problem.
You can get me on Twitter and Instagram at Robby Slowik, ROBBY SLOWIK. My new album, live near Carnegie Hall.
Very cool album. Very good album.
Is available everywhere streaming. If you're feeling generous, you could also buy it on iTunes or Amazon. You probably won't, but it would be cool if you did. Look, do you like to save money? Do you like to have a good time?
Give them the whole thing, baby.
Do you like to laugh? Well, then, Amazon or iTunes. And then, if you have a big... When is this going to come out?
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
So that's perfect for all your fans in Singapore and Kuala Lumpur.
This guy's going to be going
Headlining
to Bali, baby. Bali.
Not Bali. No.
Singapore.
Headlining the Mary Lion Comedy, co-headlining with Kase. And then
cool.
also the Crack House Comedy Club in Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, very nice.
So for all of you out there in Southeast Asia, I'll be there.
Yeah, in Singapore, not Bali.
Not Bali.
Not Bali. Kuala Lumpur and Singapore.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where he'll be. Guys, thank you so much for listening. This is another episode of Kase and the Mondays. If you have any stories about the worst you ever fucked up at your job, or bad first date stories or anything of that nature, you can email us.
Why are you falling asleep? Do that. Do this whole thing again.
We can
really sell it.
You can email us
This
at
is your promotional stuff. Look, guys, it's been a long pod. If you have stories or whatever, fine, you can fucking, I don't know.
All right, here, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, let's take this again.
Do you guys want to share things?
There
Do you
we
like
go.
having a good time?
Woo!
Do you like people hearing what's going on in your life? Email us, the worst you ever fucked up at your job or on a date or in general at ofthemondays@gmail. Maybe we'll read your stories on the air. Thanks so much for listening.
Kick a case of the Mondays.
Thanks so much for listening, and thanks so much for doing the show, Mr. Robby Slowik, everybody. And have a good day. Bye.